Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Balls Your Face podcast. I'm Christian Rivera.
It's your boy Josh Ramos.
And I'm Azul Hernandez.
And today, guys, we got a new segment going on. We got a little game, you know what I'm saying? But before we get into that, real quick, overrated, underrated. Elon Musk.
Is there a proper rated?
Yeah.
Is there one in the middle?
Rated.
I think he's properly rated.
I feel like slightly overrated because now he just got Twitter, so he's trying to get stuff out there. He's trying to
collect the stones.
He's promoting, he's promoting the platform and everything. I'll say he's slightly overrated. Tesla though, so my dad got a Tesla. Fire, bro.
Overrated.
No.
Yeah, but they can control like how long the car lasts.
Overrated.
I say he's overrated.
You know what?
I said slightly overrated, but once you get in a Tesla, you're like, damn.
You know what you have to take into account?
You act like he was the only one that made the car.
Well,
you know you have to take into account. You know how phones, they update your phones
to make it slower.
So it gets slower and stuff, or it does a lot of stuff that it can't handle. They're gonna do the same thing with those cars, bro. Bro, that becomes outdated, bro. They're gonna keep updating it.
The car maxes out at like 250.
You're just going through conspiracy theories now.
It's not even a conspiracy theory. It's a theory because we haven't seen it be around for that long.
Imagine when your car needs an update.
You're like, damn, I can't go to the party. My car needs an update.
I forgot to plug it in.
Nah, but yeah, I say he's overrated. But new owner of Twitter. Anyways, guys, we're gonna do a game today: overrated, underrated, or perfectly rated. You can decide that. I'm gonna give you guys a list of different things. You can say whether it's overrated, underrated, or perfectly rated, and give a little bit of your stance on why you said that. All right.
Say less.
So my fault, not to cut you
Nah,
off.
You just cut me off.
Yeah, I did on purpose. Is it gonna be? That's fine.
Made the list mix.
That's fine. Lay them on me. Go.
Huh? Pause.
So.
All right. Ready? First one. Let's dive into it. Let's put the thing up. Overrated, underrated.
Overrated, underrated.
Balls in, balls out. Nah. All right. First one. Giannis.
He's properly rated. To an extent, almost underrated because people still sleep on how good he actually is, and they're still trashing him, and he actually just won a chip. Because before he won a chip, they were trashing him because he didn't win a chip, because of how he came out against the Heat and stuff like that. But now that he won a chip, they're still low-key just sleeping on him, bro. They sleeping on him. But I go properly rated.
I'll lean towards underrated for the reasons that he said. So last year he won, or he has an MVP in his resume. He won the championship, won finals MVP. He has a defensive player of the year. So if I remember correctly off the top, I think only him, Jordan, and maybe I think Hakeem are the only people with MVP, defensive player of the year, and finals MVP. So that's rare company to be in. So like I feel like they focus too much, and to an extent they do the same thing with Ben Simmons, but that he can't shoot. Like that's been the stigma since he's come in, and he's been so dominant in the paint that he can't shoot, but now he's worked on his little 15-footer. So he has a little jump shot mixed in there. So as far as the accolades that he's gotten and everything that he's done to this point, I still feel like he doesn't get the respect of being, which I thought Kevin Durant was, but after the series that he just had, I got Giannis as the best player in the league right now.
I'm low-key surprised he said that, because if you asked him this 2 years ago when the Heat beat the Bucks, you build a wall around Giannis and he can't score. He's trash.
Well, he should have.
Okay,
he clearly learned from that.
Yeah, because in the following series.
But to an extent, to stop him, you're still going to build a wall. I mean, as best as you could, because
it's a good sweeping sound.
It actually is.
Yeah.
that was properly
make
rated.
that on the soundboard.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm just surprised.
But it's the same thing. So LeBron, when he went against San Antonio, when he lost the championship, it's you want him shooting jump shots. That's what you want. So like for Giannis, you're still gonna build a wall if you can. Like you still want him. Do you want Giannis dunking on everyone in your team, tearing through the paint, or do you want him shooting a 15-footer or three?
Well, now it's at the point where it's like you pick and choose, because it's either or at this point.
No, it's not either or. I want him shooting jump shots no matter what it is.
No,
even
but
if
he's making them.
it.
He's making them though. My point is that.
All right, keep making them till you make all of them. That's how it is.
When he runs through your team in the East, we're gonna see.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Very true. All that being said, I think he's learned from his past mistakes.
All right, we get it.
Underrated.
Gosh. No.
And on top of that, no.
All right, ready? Golden State.
I personally think that they are overrated. Yes, they play good during the season, and I'm assuming current state of the Golden State.
Just
right?
overall. Overall.
Like the Golden State.
You can say now. You can say overall. It's up to you.
Take all of it into consideration.
All right, taking all of it into consideration, they're still overrated. I don't care.
Damn.
At the end of the day, they had a great year in 2016, and then what they had to do, or no, 2015 they had a great year. 2016 is when they lost, and they got Kevin Durant. They had Kevin Durant have to save them, so they're overrated, bro. They're overrated. I think Steve Kerr is overrated. I'm starting to see more of his coaching side now because honestly, their team is not the greatest, and obviously they're playing really well. But like I said, I personally just don't like their team like that. I don't like Steve Kerr. And then Curry, greatest shooter of all time. But outside of that, I think they're overrated.
I say slightly underrated. So obviously they came off.
Yo, he just came out of left field of that.
So they came off obviously in the mid 2010s were like championship years, all that. He kind of mentioned Steve Kerr. A lot of people said that their team's only good because, I mean, who can't coach Steph Curry, Clay, and Durant on a team? But we've seen Durant leave, and we've seen them draft young players start to develop a little more. So you see in the playoffs, you see Jordan Poole. It's been like his coming out party, and now it's to the point where Splash Brothers, like, is it triplets? So we got Jordan Poole in there, and you see what Andrew Wiggins has been able to do. I mean, I don't think he should have been starting in the All-Star game, but they've got the most out of him since he's come out of Minnesota. So you see young players have come in, even Kuminga coming off the bench and stuff. So they've adjusted to the point where, coming into this year, they've dealt with injuries with Steph. Clay came back this year for the first time. So they were kind of going through a little bit of, I don't want to say a rebuild, but a little bit of like a weird little stretch there for a couple of years. Obviously, since Clay got injured and everything and Durant left. All that being said, a lot of teams are mentioned. Even though they got eliminated, you hear the Lakers that take the headlines. Phoenix, because they were in the finals last year, they take the headlines. You hear Nikola Jokic, that he's the MVP, and Luka, he's the up and coming. So like a lot of things have happened since. I feel like Golden State's gone under the radar a little bit. That being said, I say a little underrated. And you look at them in the playoffs now. If they go to the finals, is anyone gonna be shocked? Maybe they should, because they're underrated.
That was tasty.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, pause. Wait, what?
Eric Spoelstra.
I will say that he is. You go first. No, I'll go first.
Yeah,
I'll go first.
Okay.
I know he's about to go off.
He needed to get. He needed to gather his thoughts, man.
I will be honest. I would say he's underrated, and I say that for the fact of honestly, when you look at the Heatles, that's almost the same situation where you're like, who can't win with the Heatles? And granted, I mean, he hasn't won again. But his teams the past 3 years have looked really good. And will I say that right now, they're arguably one of the deepest teams in the playoffs. But are they the most talented? No, they're not. Jimmy Butler, but when he wasn't on the Heat, was he the most talented player on the court for certain teams? No, he wasn't. Now you look at him over there. Obviously, I just feel like overall, the team is, even when they didn't make the playoffs, they're always a tough team. They weren't like a bottom of the barrel team ever, really. So I just think these past couple of years have really increased Spoelstra's stock, but it's still not high enough. So yeah, I'm gonna go underrated.
As much as I hate to agree with Josh, it's for a good cause. So Eric Spoelstra is underrated. So obviously, he talked about the Heatles years, they won championships. I think about his coaching performance the year after Dwayne Wade left. So it's the 2016-2017 season. I remember our starting lineup. It was Dragic, Dion Waiters. Who was our small forward? Justice was drafted the year before. I mean, he might have been starting. So Justice Winslow. Someone random at power forward and Hassan Whiteside. Our team was... They started the season 11-30, and everyone's coming out, oh, this team's trash. Wade is gone. LeBron is gone, or he left a couple years before that, but their team just is gone. Like, they're not the same team. And later that season, he led them. So they started the season 11-30. They finished the season 30-11. So they ended up 500, which, I mean, which is still crazy. But it was like a tale of two seasons, and they ended up missing the playoffs. But all that being said, like, to me, that showed that he could get the most out of a bad situation. And now you see that the past couple of years, he's starting to get more talent. Bam was drafted. Bam came out of that year, so we missed the playoffs. We had the 14th pick. That's where we got Bam.
Always brings up Bam.
I mean, we developed him, so I mean. But, so that situation brought out Bam. Jimmy ended up coming to the team because he saw the culture. They always talk about Heat culture, and Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley are like flat in the middle of that. So, my man's underrated for what he's been able to do, and he led the team to the championship a couple years ago. Might lead them this year as well. So don't talk about my coach, yo. Don't disrespect my coach.
All right. Shohei.
Properly rated. I say properly rated mainly because I feel like everyone loves him so much, and him winning MVP should show that he's properly rated. I really don't think he's anywhere close to being underrated. He might be close to the point where he's overrated. But I don't know about y'all. I don't watch too many Angels games, so I'm not seeing him play all the time. I'm only seeing him when we play against them. And yes, I seen him hit bombs and stuff like that. He's a phenomenal player. But I just won't go to the extent where he's underrated because I feel like he's properly rated. Like he's there. He won MVP. Like how much more can you really get? He's probably rated.
I feel like me and Josh see everything differently because I got him underrated. Because like, okay, he's a position player that pitches at the same time. Obviously, he's not. If he's pitching, they're not gonna have him in the outfield and everything. So they have him hitting and pitching at the same time. No one has done that within 100 years. Babe Ruth was like the last one that, and he didn't do it at the same time. He was a pitcher with the Red Sox, like in the 8 or 19, whatever. He got traded to the Yankees, and then he became a power hitting whatever.
Okay,
that was 100 years ago. So we got this guy coming in that he's doing both of them at the same time. And yeah, I know he won the MVP, but just that alone, like that's a whole lifetime that we never saw someone in the game do anything like that. And he came in and was the greatest show that we ever saw.
But okay, he won MVP. What else do you want? Like how else can you really be rated without winning MVP?
I want higher
let me ask you,
recognition.
what does the MVP mean? The most valuable player. That means that you're the best player in the league. That's what it arguably means.
But I don't think.
What else can you do?
I don't think enough is said of what he did. Like I know he's MVP, but it's like damn, like it's not just a regular MVP. It's like look how good he was. Like I know it's the All-Star game. He was the starting pitcher in the All-Star game and the leadoff hitter in the All-Star game. So that means you want him to set the tone for your lineup and you want him to set the tone as a pitcher. And it's like, damn, like who has done that within the past 100 years?
I will say we have to see how it plays out longevity wise because last year was also the first year he played that many games because he was hurt the first 2 years, right, of his career.
He did. He had an elbow
so
injury.
let's hope it stays that way before we start throwing Babe Ruth into the same conversation. But I don't know. For me, MVP, how else can you rate him? I don't know.
You know, if Shohei pitched to Babe Ruth, you think Babe Ruth hits a home run?
Yes.
No. If Babe Ruth,
baseball's a different game.
If Babe
right
Ruth
now,
is throwing a pitch to Shohei, do you think he hits a home run?
Yes, he is.
Baseball's
Case
a different
closed.
game right now,
Case
bro.
closed.
Pitchers are nasty right now.
Case closed.
All right, talking about Babe Ruth. Jason Tatum.
So I feel like this should be brought up because it was kind of. I saw a TikTok that. Let me ask it. A little brief interjection. Who's better, Kawhi Leonard or Jason Tatum?
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard.
Without a doubt.
I'll say Kawhi Leonard.
So there was someone on there that said Jason Tatum because of what's going on. And I said, whoa. Slow your roll. So I will say that probably Jason Tatum is properly rated. If you look back at our midseason, I was trashing Jason Tatum because like, bro, Jaylen Brown is playing better than you. Ever since that has been a complete flip. Jason Tatum.
I am completely wrong.
He's been playing a lot better. But I do feel like he's properly rated where if I was to rank top 10 NBA players, he's probably on 10, maybe?
Maybe on the outside looking in.
Maybe on the outside looking in, maybe. But I'm not going to put him there. He's not better than Kawhi yet. He doesn't have the same defense as Kawhi. Offensively, obviously he has a bit greater output. Sometimes it's just very hit or miss with him. We saw last year, or no, not last year, this season when he was playing bad, where he was like, bro, he had 0 points through like 3 quarters against a game against y'all or something like that. Like, I think he's properly rated, not overrated, not underrated. I think he's properly rated. Some are going to argue underrated because no one talks about him as much. He's still very young. What is he, 24 years old, I think? 24 years old, still not dominating the league to an extent, but like he's playing really well. Properly rated.
So I hate to do this because all in all, like he's probably one of my favorite like young up and coming players. Just because of what he's done in the playoffs, I say slightly overrated, and for a lot of the reasons that Josh said. So when I think of small forwards in the league, I'm still taking KD over him. If you want to call Giannis a small forward, big, whatever, I'll still take Giannis over him if you put him at the 3. I'll take KD over him. I know Kawhi was hurt last year, but what I seen of Kawhi, I'll still take Kawhi over him. Young players, I'll still take Luka over him, and Luka kind of plays that point forward hybrid. So that's like 5 people right there that have played the 3 that I'm still taking.
I think
over.
you're missing someone.
I'm pretty sure I am missing someone. So like, I love Jason Tatum's game. Who am I missing? Who am I missing?
LeBron James is a small forward, bro.
Did I not say him?
You did not say LeBron James.
Oh, I forgot because he's not relevant. That's why. No,
Yeah.
I was still. Yeah, my fault. It slipped my mind. Damn, I'm sorry.
I thought you were trying to signify that he's not. I was about to say.
No,
Jesus
I
Christ.
didn't remember. I thought I said him. I would still take LeBron over him. So like, and that's not a knock on Tatum. That's why I say slightly overrated because what he's done in the playoffs, Paul Pierce is like, oh, Tatum or KD. I'm taking Tatum, and I'm like,
I did see that.
No,
yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
I feel like that's just bias for him. I mean,
yeah, but like even so, like that's the narrative that's out there. So all
even
in
though
all,
didn't he play with the Nets?
he did play with the Nets, but that's not his home.
I know.
No one's thinking about him.
I know.
Yeah, but all in all, I say slightly overrated.
Okay.
Slightly overrated.
All right.
You see, I'm not like Josh. Everything is perfectly rated.
Yeah, I know, right?
it was the last two.
We have to take that option away.
It was the last two.
He's right in the middle.
It was
Oh,
the
that's perfect for
it
him.
was the last
all right,
two.
all right. Josh is gonna like this one. Justin Herbert.
Oh, I think no.
I think he's proper.
I think he's literally perfectly.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, this is gonna sound really funny coming out of me, but he might be overrated, guys. He might be overrated. And for me to say this, I do think he's better than Russell Wilson. But if we look at our top 10 list, where did I have him? I had him at 5. I had him right in the middle with 4 people better
He
than
said
him.
that's perfectly rated.
That's right in the middle. Perfect. Nah, bro. I think he's overrated because some people are taking too much, like putting too much stock into it. Because like I said, when I was making arguments for other quarterbacks on my list, he still didn't even make the playoffs. So we got to slow our roll a little bit. Maybe am I included in that group? Maybe a little bit. But in top 10, I had him at 5. So I feel like I put him perfectly rated or in the middle. I think he's overrated, though. A lot of people are putting too much stock into him. Let's see what he does and balls out this year. He balled out last year, granted, and he did really good. But let's see if he can take his team to the playoffs. They should be a playoff team. Team is talented enough. Let's see what he can do. I think he's overrated currently because people are just giving the crown to him and saying he's the best, like top 3 maybe.
It's funny because I was going after Josh. This is the first one that I'm gonna say perfectly rated.
What the?
That's why I'm laughing because he's going off and I'm like, damn, like that's literally gonna be my answer. Because like I feel like I genuinely can't lean away because I can't say underrated because everyone sees the talent that he has, and I can't say overrated. Wait, no, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't lean towards.
I don't.
I can't lean towards either side. And on my list, I had him 6th, so I had him right in the middle. But all in all, I keep saying it about Justin Herbert. There's no reason why he can't take a leap to what everyone expects. And obviously the leap for him is make the playoffs with that team, and they're stacked. So like I said, if they don't make the playoffs, obviously something clearly went wrong, and he's the head of the snake. So for now, I have him perfectly rated. Everyone knows the talent that he has, but we'll see what happens. So perfectly rated.
Bet.
All right, Bronny James.
That's tough. This is extremely tough. Because can either of us say that we watched a game of Sierra Canyon? I haven't.
I can honestly say
haven't.
no.
I haven't. So what will I say? I'm going to say he's overrated. And I say overrated because obviously he's LeBron James' son. So he's always going to have that stigma around him because he's LeBron James' son. He is LeBron James Jr. But overall, I just have to say overrated because that fact merely. I don't have any points. I don't have his points to throw at you. I don't have his assists. I don't have his defensive efficiency. I don't have nothing to throw at you. But as long as he's LeBron James' son, he's going to be relevant and he's going to be around. And best believe when it's time that his class is supposed to go into the draft, bro, he might get drafted for being LeBron James' son. And his talent might not even be there like that. So I'm going to say overrated, and it's probably going to be overrated for a very long time.
I hate to do this to the kid, but I say slightly overrated for a lot of the same reasons Josh said. I don't think it's fair to him that maybe it's LeBron's marketing strategy, but I want to play with my son. And obviously the quickest way that happens if his son is one and done. Who's to say Bronny's ready to go straight to college and go straight to the league? So, and I know I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched the full game like how you said. All I could do is listen to the rankings that the experts have him ranked. And I think in his class, he's like, I think high 20s, 30s, which isn't bad. Like that's still really good, but that's not necessarily a player ready to make that jump of a top high school player straight to the league. And that's a tough adjustment for even the top players. So like, They've had him, obviously, because he's going to most likely go one and done. They've had him going to Duke or like the big schools like Kentucky, maybe a school like that, because he has like the physical traits. And I mean, from what I've seen and what they say, he's a better shooter than his dad, which honestly to me isn't that impressive at a young age. LeBron, when he came in, he couldn't shoot. Let's be real. But
that's just where basketball is now.
I know.
Everybody can shoot.
No, that's
now,
true.
so.
That's true. So like, you look at it like that, he's getting a bigger body, he's filling out, so he has the physical tools. And they say that I've seen like the highlights, the little chase down blocks and everything, like he looks like he has the tools to be like a good defender and all that, but we can't base it off of highlights. And based on everything else where he's ranked in this class, slightly over.
Hey bro, I'm gonna keep it straight. Highlights are highlights for a reason. You don't see no lowlights in a highlight, so you don't really see what goes on.
No.
Lord,
you see him on Shackton.
All right, Kendrick Bourne.
Damn, what's this?
That boy, and I say this with all negativity, he's perfectly rated. We barely know about him.
He's like, some of our viewers don't even know who he is. No.
We don't.
Kendrick Lamar.
We don't need to know
Pierre
about
Bourne.
him. He's perfectly rated in my opinion. We just nothing else.
So I was laughing because that one caught me off guard because I didn't think that was coming up. But I say underrated. Not only hear me out.
Biased.
No,
Biased.
not only because I'm a Patriots fan. Last year he almost hit 1,000 yards receiving, which that's a good mark to hit. I think he was at 900 something. So he was close on a team that they had. Their offense was more spread it out. They didn't have a number one option per se, but I think Mac Jones really liked him as a receiver. So you look at the playoff game, yeah, we got smacked, we lost. The 2 touchdowns that Mac Jones threw were to him. So I feel like he's getting that familiarity with him. You know, there's some players you put the ball in their hands and they're able to make plays. New England kind of lacked that. I feel like when you saw him with the ball, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like he was able to take the ball and do something with it. Like it's not like he's going to catch it and that's it. So like he was able to do some stuff with it. So like I said,
Who's the other receiver you guys have?
Jacoby Myers.
I like him more than Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, you know his name. Don't disrespect me.
No, I really didn't know.
You're like, who's the other receiver?
Your best options, your best weapons are your tight ends.
So you said underrated?
I say slightly underrated because I feel like
rated.
watch.
Perfectly rated, and I'd just be like, I don't care.
All right, Josh. Why do you get a hate?
Straight up.
All right. Straight up. Darius Garland.
Ooh.
That boy came on now. He came on this season and really showed his stuff. I think I will always just remember him because he was rumored to go to the Bulls, and then he got drafted to the Cavs, and then we picked up Kobe White, and obviously I was hyped with Kobe White. You were telling me about Kobe White, but I saw Darius Garland on the board too, and I was thinking, like, I don't even know who that is, but maybe he's going to be nice. This year he showed out. I think he's underrated, and I think he has more to prove, more to show. This year was a coming out party. It's just a matter of how he's going to play with Colin Sexton, because he thrived with Colin Sexton not being there. So maybe with Colin Sexton's game, that takes away from him. Maybe the Cavs should move on from Sexton and just move on with Garland instead of trying to make that backcourt work. I don't know, but I say he's underrated.
I hate to do this though.
I hate to do this to the kid.
No, I mean he came in this year. I don't think a lot of people expect him to take like an all-star leap, and he made the all-star team. And if you ask me, I mean, John Morant won most improved, but Darius Garland, and for that fact, Devontae Murray was the other one. They were probably better candidates for that. But all in all, he was an all-star. I've seen him play a couple games, and he has all the skill set to be like a really good point guard. But I just think he's really young. Like some of the turnovers he made, and obviously the playing game, couldn't get his team over the hump and everything. So I don't want to say overrated, 'cause I don't think that's fair, because no one expected him to take that leap to be where he's at. So I'll say perfectly rated by default.
Oh, ever since he clowned me for
Right?
perfectly rated,
No,
it's been
because
on perfectly rated the whole time.
You said it for like the first 7 answers.
No, it was literally like 2 of them. But I think he's like overall, like he's looking nice to the point where he can score and he can dish out the ball and get assists like that. So
Yeah, but he's like a Trae Young mold, and I'm just like,
no, 2 different games.
No, but
Sam, fight me. Darius Garland's gonna be better than Trae Young one day.
it's just a small point guard that dominates the rock, and can that win? I don't think
Chris
so.
Paul been that. He's a point guard.
Yeah, but he's
what?
He's just better. Like Chris Paul, even at a young age too, he just had something different.
All right, guys. To close out this segment, this episode, NFL Pro Bowl.
Oh, I'm gonna take this one to start. Overrated to the max.
Overrated. Overrated. Nobody? No?
That's just you.
I thought you were gonna-
You were the out of all of us. You're the only one that's been to the Pro Bowl, so you've seen it live.
And I can say the same damn thing. I should have just watched it from TV.
No, that would have been worse if you watched it from TV.
No, it would have been way better. I had a better view.
Way beater. That would have been way beater.
Sorry. R.I.P. Kobe. When I went to the game, that's when Kobe passed away, if y'all didn't know. But yeah, it's super overrated. Oh, you said you wanted to take it? Go.
No, you go.
Okay,
You
it's
were the one that's been there.
super overrated. I think the biggest thing, we talked about this before. Did we put out that Pro Bowl episode?
No, it didn't. We
Damn.
never did.
Why are you giving out the
It's
secrets
somewhere-
of
it's somewhere
episodes
in the
locked in the
vault.
vault?
Guys, we have deleted scenes. You'll be able to
It's
catch
locked
that
in the
soon.
vault like
we talked about it though.
valuable
and
jewels.
The biggest thing about the Pro Bowl is that literally it's after the season, and whoever wins from that, there's nothing to play for. Versus in the MLB, what the winner gets home
No,
advantage?
they took that away.
They took that away, but it was like that for a long time.
That's trash. Well, that was cool.
But the MVP of the All Star game gets like a car.
Oh, what about the? Oh wait, no. Now I'm looking at it. Are All-Star games?
Well, at least they're in the middle of the season, and like people
Yes,
actually
there you
like
go. There you go.
You talk about Pro Bowlers,
Yes.
and it's not like how
Yes.
you are with an All.
That was my point. That's a better point. The point is that in other sports, it goes right in the middle of the season when people still have stuff to play for. Bro, half the people that are in the Pro Bowl are from playoff teams that just got eliminated. Like, they're not gonna want to play. And then trust me, I watch it with my own two eyes, bro. They really don't play like that. A lot of points are scored and stuff like that. That's because nobody's hustling out there, and it's overrated. Definitely overrated. I love everything else around it though, activity wise, and everything they promote as far as like interactions with fans and stuff like that. All that is awesome. I went to one of the events and I was able to see like them practice and stuff, and they were running around the field saying what's up to fans. All that is great, but the Pro Bowl itself, the game itself, bro, put that in the middle of the season or something. I don't know, like just put it in the middle of the season.
Best moment from Pro Bowl weekend this weekend. Or
Oh my gosh, I
Mac
already
Jones
know.
when he hit the gritty, he was like, "Yo,
When you-
Gritty?
bro. When you got Mac,
They don't wanna see it.
When you got Mac Jones running for a touchdown, that's when you know no one ain't playing.
Yo.
Nobody's playing.
nah." All in all, yeah, watching the Pro Bowl on TV is still pretty bad too. Like you see someone running down the field and two-hand touch, like that's a tackle, like that, because they don't want to tackle. And I get it, like they don't want to get hurt. Like it's a brutal sport.
I would be tackling everybody.
Like I honestly think the NFL shouldn't have a Pro Bowl. Like they could still have the honor of being named to the Pro Bowl, but the same thing how Josh said, make it more like a fan weekend, like because no one really wants to watch that game.
Or why don't they just like do what they're doing? Like they're doing like games and stuff. How they did like the skills competition. Why don't they just do
That's what I'm
that
saying. Like that
instead of having a game.
I feel like football, and it sounds so weird, but I feel like they shouldn't even have like quote unquote all-star game type setting.
And the craziest thing is that that's what it became now, because back then they were playing the Pro Bowl hard. Obviously, main thing you think about, or main thing I think about when it comes to like Pro Bowl and people playing hard, you have Sean Taylor who killed the punter in a Pro Bowl game.
Yeah, that punter
Like,
was not happy.
bro, that punter got laid out, and I'm sure he's like, why is he hitting this hard in a Pro Bowl game? But literally, like that's what you think back to, and that's when you think of, wow, they actually like put on a show. And now it's kind of just like, because they get a bonus for playing in the Pro Bowl game. Like they get their money, so they're just there to
but
go
how
collect
much
the check.
do they really get?
Money's money, bro. If you pay me $50,000 to go jog around on the field, sign
If
me
you
up.
have millions, 50,000 is nothing.
Sign me up. Somebody put me on the team then. Sign me up.
I will gladly take it. Nah, but guys, that was overrated, underrated. If you like that, please hit the thumbs up. Let us know in the comments what you want to see next time, and if you want to see us come back with this segment again.
And feel free to let us know, who do you find overrated, underrated, or perfectly rated. If you have a problem with what I said, bro, attack me in the comments, bro. I'll reply to you and we'll talk about it. That's it, straight up.
Give us suggestions on who you want us to rate.
Yes.
And maybe we'll make an episode out of it
Trae Young! Overrated.
based on who you guys want. So just let us know in the comments. Let us know on Instagram. Keep a lookout and we'll have it posted for you.
And if you want to interact, make sure you follow us on the Ballsy Face Podcast on Instagram, BIYF the podcast on Twitter, and Ballsy Face Podcast on TikTok, and the Ballsy Face Podcast on YouTube, and the Ballsy Face Podcast at yahoo.com. Why is that saying? No,
That's not our yahoo.com.
it's not. Don't email us, guys. Please don't. All right, then.
All right, guys, that was another episode of the Balls Your Face podcast. I'm Christian Rivera.
It's your boy Josh Ramos.
Amazir Hernandez.
Bye.